make you put your phone down. I can 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 make you put your phone down, make you put your phone down. I can make it put your phone down.
So today I'm going to talk about the importance of a social media fast. So hey y'all, it is Kiana Imani Bold, and I'm so excited for everybody who is joining in for the first time, whether it's your first time or your second time, joining into the Imani Bold channel. Now this channel is all about stepping out on bold faith, taking that journey of bold faith and doing what God called you to do. Sometimes we get a little scared, sometimes we get a little nervous, but we're gonna do this together, y'all. You ready? So let's get into it. So today we're gonna talk about making you put the phone down. I can make you put your phone down. Now what I'm talking about is a social media fast. I mean, I don't know what y'all was thinking, but I know what I was thinking. I was thinking about a social media fast, you know. So sometimes, we get so busy with we get so busy scrolling on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, just carried on what other people are doing, and we rarely have time to hear from God, you know. So I really just felt just the urge and felt like God was laying on my spirit to do a social media fast. And so I did. So we're going to talk about today 3 reasons why a social media fast is beneficial or why it's helpful. So the first one is that taking a social media break allows you to be present. It allows you to enjoy the moment, right? So say, for example, you're at a concert and, you're taking pictures all the time, you're recording, you're doing different things. Sometimes when you take pictures of the moment, you almost lose the moment. Although you're capturing it for next time, you're not being present, you're not enjoying it. Your phone is there, but you're not really seeing the big picture because you're capturing it for later. Sometimes that's how we go about our lives. Sometimes during our day we can enjoy our day because we're worrying about tomorrow, we're worrying about next week, we're worrying about next month. But God just wants us to be present in the moment, right? We're so focused on capturing the moment so we can show other people or either stunt on Instagram later on, but we have to be present, And another good example of this is even being at the dinner table. I was hanging out with some friends this weekend. We went to Sight and Sound. Shout out to Lancaster. And one game that we played was we all put our cell phones in the middle of the table. And whoever... the rule is that you cannot touch your phone. If you touch your phone, look at your phone, then you lose. And whoever touches their phone first has to buy everybody some gifts from the gift shop, right? So I ain't want to lose. And I know I like to take pictures of everything. So I ain't want to lose. So I put my phone in the center. And I realized what that did was it created a sense of community. Because instead of being on our phones texting the entire time during dinner, what we did was we had communication with each other. We began looking at the environment. We began to communicate with each other in a different way. And what that simply means is that we were just present. We were present with each other. We were learning from each other and fellowshipping in a great way. So putting our phone down really just changed the environment, and it created a deeper connection with us. And it was great. I definitely will be doing that again. The second one is it allows us to clear our mind. Sometimes when wake up in the morning and the first thing we do, we don't realize we check Instagram, right? We become almost addicted to Instagram and addicted to social media and addicted to Twitter. It's the first thing we do when we wake up in the morning. And I'm going to be honest, sometimes I am guilty of that. I'm like, okay, so I just posted that. I'm like, okay, what's she doing? Okay, what he doing? Oh, okay, girl, they got married. Okay. But then what we really need to do is sometimes we need to take a step back and focus on ourselves. The downfall about social media is that although there's so many different ways of connecting with each other, it in theory disconnects us from each other. The whole point of a social network is so we can, fellowship. But how many times are we really reaching out to each other? Sometimes we can have so many people around us and so many followers and still feel lonely. So I think that taking a step away from either Instagram or Facebook and maybe calling someone, maybe going out to lunch with someone, maybe having dinner with someone, or just speaking to somebody face to face, it yields a deeper connection. Sometimes when we go through technology or we go through our cell phones, the deeper connection can be lost. Things are not always expressed as in person as, if you can see their face expression or you can see their demeanor or their tone. Taking this break also allows us to not be envious of each other. And this is a big one because sometimes people can get into a habit of comparing their lives to other people. Oh, this one is going back for a degree, or this one started a new job, or this one's doing this one's doing that. But I don't believe that God called us to be a jealous people, or God called us to be a group of people who compares ourselves to one another, to each other. I believe that the purpose of community is to edify each other and encourage each other and build each other up. Too many times people are on social media, and though they're liking the post, there's some low-key shade there. There's some low-key like, oh, see what she got. Oh, she always posting something. Oh, she always blessed and highly favored. God's always doing something in her life, you know. And although posting is cool, sometimes we need to take a step back, and instead of looking and wondering what everybody else is doing, wondering if the grass is greener on the other side, we need to turn our phones, put our phones down, turn our phones off, and tune into what God is saying, right? Because what the blessings that God has for us is for us, and the blessing that God has for somebody else is for someone else. And if we're constantly looking at somebody else's blessing, we'll miss the plate of food that God has already prepared for us. And, you know, if we're looking at what somebody else got, oh, they got pizza, they got food, they got burgers, they got all of that stuff. The food that God prepared for us is going to be spoiled because we spent so much time examining somebody else's thing that we missed out on the blessing that God had prepared for us. So one of the things that I realized is that when I took the month of July, and even the month of August, to really take a step back of Instagram, what I did, instead of like telling myself I'm going to turn it off, what I did was I actually uninstalled it from my phone. So it wasn't even there. I swiped my phone and the Instagram app was not there at all. I realized that I had to replace that time with God. You know, sometimes we don't realize how much time we're spending on these like apps. It's like idle time and time is taken up. So then I realized when I took Instagram off my phone, I had so much free time. And the amazing thing about a fast is that some people, they fast food and they, you know, they take it out, or they fast social media and they take it out. But fasting is not just subtraction. Fasting is the addition, right? So it's not just subtracting social media, but it's adding and intentionally adding time with God, whether it's reading your Bible or praying. So I really hope that people can take the time to turn off their phones and really tune into what God is saying. And when I did that, God gave me visions. He gave me dreams. I got the opportunity to go to Africa, like, what? I've never even been outside the country, and I really was just able to get clarity on the specific things that God had specifically for me. When I stopped looking at what everybody else was doing, God revealed to me not only who I was, but about the plans that He had for my life. And I want the same thing for you.